Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm here with Savoy and I'm gonna do a quick outfit change. I was just in the mood to make a video. I have some time off and I'm gonna change this little guy out of this bodysuit. I actually changed him off camera. I don't always change my dolls on camera. But I wanted to talk about a little bit about how I collect and what I do with my dolls, sort of to demystify doll collecting. Now, I in no way represent all Reborn doll collectors. I am not the center of the Reborn doll hobby. It is huger than YouTube. It is bigger than just any social media platform for me to do that. But I wanted to demystify a little bit of what we do and maybe give a little of insight as to why we do it. There is a stigma and in this community, and I use the word stigma because for those of us who are just lifelong doll collectors and lifelong doll lovers, we just always have liked dolls. It's to be stigmatized that this hobby only serves the purpose for a medical therapeutic medical capacity or a therapeutic capacity. Yes, bottom line, any hobby of any form has its therapeutic, cathartic, and mindful aspects. But that is not, so anything that you would do that you take time to think about, whether it's which doll you're going to collect, or maybe you're the type of person that's in this hobby and you not only collect, or maybe you only make the dolls and you're an artist. And the painting brings you, it's a mindful activity, and it brings you some type of catharsis. And in that sense, I could see the therapeutic attributes to this hobby. I've seen people talk openly about personal traumas, personal loss. I've seen them discuss this hobby in the capacity that it helps elderly patients with dementia, or just elderly patients in general. There are some older people that for some reason or another are not able to hold babies. Maybe they can't for medical reasons, and it's just not safe for them to always be holding babies. So that sense of holding something that's weighted, that feels lifelike, brings comfort. So I think that for those purposes, I think it's a really great way to look at this hobby, and I don't knock it whatsoever. But that is just a smidgen of people, and I feel that a lot of people, and I'm just generalizing here, and these are just my own assessments as I've spent the time that I've spent in the hobby collecting, but I feel like adult women are embarrassed to admit that they collect just for the sole purpose of them liking the doll. So they try to find justifications, they try to rationalize it with the general public by bringing up the therapeutic or medical reasons why somebody would own a Reborn doll, kind of to mask just the mere fact that we like dolls, and we don't really need to justify it or rationalize it with anybody. I don't think that there's anybody in the hobby. There might be, but not that I've seen publicly, that collect these dolls and truly believe that they're human. I don't, this isn't, you know, a movie like the movie The Boy. I think it's The Boy with that creepy doll that the parents hire babysitters for and everything, or a nanny. I mean, I'm not hiring people to take care of my dolls when I'm not home and I'm at work or I'm out town doing things. I don't change diapers. I don't change diapers anymore anyway. I'm strictly using cloth, reusable, because of the sustainability aspect and because I just don't like replacing diapers. They get saggy, they wear out and everything. So I don't even change diapers anymore. But when I did used to do it, I mainly did it for entertainment, the entertainment value that it brings to the hobby on a platform like YouTube. But in no way, when you see people changing the diaper, even if it's a mild form of role play, in no way does that mean that people have lost sense of reality, and not only are they changing diapers, but they're also hiring nannies or babysitters and actually treating this as a real child. I've taken my dolls out, mostly for my own private enjoyment. It's fun, but it is a big production, so I don't do it that much. It's a lot of work. To carry them on you, especially if it's warm outside, or to take a stroller around. So it's not really my favorite thing to do. However, I will not knock the positive gratification of meetups and going out with your doll friends and being able to let your hair down and in an environment where there's other people that collect dolls as well. So I don't knock that. I think it's a very positive way to spend your time in this hobby. So, when I do, speaking on, taking the dolls out and enjoying them outdoors at meetups, at doll shows, privately on your own. Sometimes, I've recorded outings like at stores to show where I shop, because that's a big, huge part of this hobby is where we shop. But sometimes, I record, and it goes back to the entertainment value on YouTube. I don't know that I would be, I have actually taken them out without recording, just for my own private enjoyment. But again, there is no delusion that these are real. So, and we could say that, we say it over and over again, and I think that's where this whole talk started, arising in our community, where we kind of felt coerced, or somehow it felt better to say, oh, well, these dolls, yeah, we're adults and we collect them, but they have therapeutic value and they help patients with dementia. Well, I don't have dementia and I'm not there yet, thank goodness. I'm not in the winter of my life, but I feel like we constantly are trying to make justifications and constantly trying to rationalize owning them, and the plain simple fact is that they're really nice to look at. And if you like dolls, especially baby dolls, because there's all types of dolls to like. There are some people that are really only into Barbies, and they dabble in like Reborn dolls that own one or two, and then there's people that are into American Girl dolls and also like the Reborns. But what my point is that it just goes back to finding this hobby fun, and it's more than just collecting the dolls. It's also, like any hobby, finding people who enjoy the same things you do. And it really is fun, because I find shopping fun. I like baby fashion. And then it gets fun to photograph them and record them. And all of that is just it's just gratifying. So it's a healthy outlet for our, I'm trying to decide which ones to put on, for our day-to-day, you know, to get away from our day-to-day life, you know, and just like any hobby would. So you come here to relax. So I do feel that we've kind of brought, and I call it a stigmatized, because the first thing people go to is they start talking about, oh, well, I heard that these dolls have, you know, therapeutic value. They help patients, elderly patients, and some people, you know, have them at nursing homes. And but we don't, it doesn't, we don't have to make an excuse, essentially, for, is what I'm trying to get to, for owning them. We can purely like them just for the dolls, and for how involved it is. There's doll shows, there are doll meetups, there are so many opportunities to do something outside of your normal day-to-day. And everybody needs that, you know? Everybody needs that. So some of the things that we do as doll collectors is, as I already mentioned, is we go shopping. And some of us like the styles and the fashion, so that's a lot of fun for us. I'm gonna try these gray socks. I'm not really liking the chunky ones. I think these ones are too light. I think I'm gonna go with the gray. Let's see. I just want to see less and less. I mean, I won't really tune into it, but I feel like if we don't want to be stigmatized for collecting these dolls, I think it ultimately falls on our individual shoulders to be representing the community as positively as possible, representing the dolls and what we do in a fun way, in a positive way. And let me get this sock on right here. Yeah, I think this color looks better. There are many different things that people do, and a lot of different things, and not just in this hobby, that people do for entertainment value on YouTube. And a few examples of that would be like a lot of the different types of ASMR that I see on YouTube. There's ASMR where people role play or pretend that they tell you basically a story, but they whisper the entire story, and they involve you in the story, and they speak to you softly and they speak to you gently. There's ASMR for people eating, and some people happen to like eating sounds or drinking sounds. I don't know. I find that, like, it bothers me. I can't stand that, so I don't really listen to those. I've heard one where this girl was eating, she was doing ASMR eating a honeycomb, and there was a lot of smacking noises in it. I don't know, some people like that and they find it comforting and soothing. And although I may think that that's strange, it's not hurting anybody, so I'm not knocking it. And in the same, on that same line or thread of thought, and in that same logic, we also do things with our dolls on here that are more involved for the entertainment value, as long as it, so just keep all of that into, you know, put it all into perspective. And I don't know, and just be open-minded when it comes to the things that you see on here, and try to be logical about it as well. Just remember that a lot of the things that are done on here are for an entertainment value. I do occasionally, if I have time and I am in the mood to, I will watch a video, like a doll video, or maybe any other type of, listen to any type of video. Maybe it doesn't necessarily have to be a doll video, but I will say that when I do watch Reborn doll videos, it sometimes gets me, if it's a good one, and there's good chat and there's nice dolls and there's nice clothing, it gets me motivated to want to change one of my dolls. So I will listen, especially if it's a nice long video, I will listen to the video and the chat alongside changing my own dolls. I'm going to sit him up so his hair can dry. And not always am I actually changing them, or am I changing their diaper. It's like I said, I'm not treating it like a real child that needs to, but I'm also not knocking that. If people feel like they want to keep a routine and it's fun for them and that's the way they enjoy it, I think they should be able to do it without having to rationalize it for anybody or justify it, and without feeling that they're being criticized for it. I think it's dry. So let me think, what else demystifies this hobby? We just have to, I don't mind people expressing their feelings surrounding this hobby, contributing or being good for patients with, mental health issues, or being something good for elderly people in nursing homes and things like that. I don't knock that, but I think that truly is just a smidgen of this hobby. It's a lot more involved than that. There's a whole art world behind this hobby. There's a whole collecting world behind this hobby. And the hobby itself, the art form itself, is always becoming more and more realistic. And so I hope that kind of demystifies what we do. And I don't know, that was about all I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to demystify a little bit of what it is that a Reborn doll collector. This is how I collect. These are the things that I like to show, and the content that I produce for entertainment on my channel. And I really do hope that you guys like it and you like what you see and you like the outfits. And I did want to mention that I have Savoy sitting on a pod, and I had a custom cover made for it. And it's so cute. I love bunnies, and this bunny here has like a balloon that looks like a moon, or a moon balloon. So I like celestial things, and I also like bunny rabbits. So when I saw this fabric, I thought it was like a very good combination of two things that I really like, two things meeting, and I loved it. And then I had, on the other side, I had velour. So it has a nice soft velour, and the pod itself, but I like this side. I'm going to show this side. Probably for other types of pictures where I really need just the outfit to stand out, I'll put it on the white side. That's why I did two different sides for the cover, so that it could be more versatile. And this one's a smaller pod. My friend on Instagram had posted it a couple months ago. It was like before Christmas. And I asked her where she got it, and she sent me a link. So I bought the pod, but I didn't really like the cover that it came with. And so I had a friend make me this cover here. And like I said, it was two of my favorite things, which is a celestial theme and a bunny theme. And they just came together perfectly. And I feel like it's very gender neutral. So I can use it for my girl dolls and my boy dolls. So that's all I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I may carry this topic and open it up a little bit more. I'm still going to try to come on live on Friday. I'm aiming for Friday, hopefully, and have you guys join the conversation live with me and a couple dolls. And we'll talk about some unpopular opinions, and this may be one of them. I just want to start, I don't want to leave it behind, but I just want to start demystifying the hobby and hoping that people make less and less justifications for why they collect dolls. It could be just as simple as, I like dolls. Yeah, I'm an adult and I like dolls because I've always liked baby dolls. That never ended for me. I've always liked dolls in general. I've had American Girl dolls. I've had Barbies, Cabbage Patch. Just always liked these dolls. So when I found Reborns, one of the things as a child that I always wanted was a more and more realistic baby doll. And so these, I mean, I think I would have driven my parents nuts if there was Reborns around when I was a kid. And I probably would have driven them nuts wanting one. So that's why I have them, because as an adult, and like most hobbies, I am able to afford to buy my own dolls, and I don't have to ask anybody for it or permission for it, or anybody has to buy them for me. I buy them for myself.